Tangent Lounge. I'm Gary.
I'm Dorrie.
Hi everyone, it's Anissa again.
Here we go again. Yay.
I'm gonna put my cans on.
All right.
Come on.
Oh, wow. Whoa. Okay.
These are actually better than my original cans.
So, a little break between episodes. Show number,
Yep.
whatever we got here. 30.
31.
We're
No, 32.
30.
32, because you just posted 31 today.
Posted 31.
Which I need to get on that.
32 we just did. This is 33, yo. Check it out. Can you believe it's 33? Anyway. So we had attempted to record a week ago, something like that. We had to call it off because life kicked us in the taco.
In the ganooch.
The ganooch.
If you will.
So,
apparently ganooch, I should trend ganooch, because no one else has said that for the vagina but me.
I'm digging it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about yours.
It's Dart Van Landingham again.
God damn it.
He was being an asshole. Because here's the thing. I went 2 months, ladies and gentlemen. And again, I hope they're all having marinara with their spaghetti right now. That one guy who listens. I went 2 months without my period thinking,
well, hey.
Yay, menopause is here.
Are we here?
Dart will shrink. Got my period 2 days ago.
You know, menopause sounds just very much like what you just went through, where it's pause and then it's menoplay.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Did you stay up all night right in that one?
I must have.
No, got to bed about 2:30.
It's never
Family Guy reference.
Mena stop.
Mena, fuck off.
Mena the end. No,
Mena, get
it's
the
menopause.
fuck out. Because I want Dart to shrink, so I
had
don't
the
pee
pause.
when I giggle. Okay, bottom line.
Will that happen?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why, I don't go on the dating sites, because I'm going to put things like...
Or the roller coasters.
Yes. I go on those. God forbid, but I go on those. But I'm like going to put on the dating site, overweight and pees when giggles. Please date me. Swipe left.
There's a pot for every lid.
How many times have you said that? That shit has not come to fruition. But I've kind of given up. I'm back to being 9 years old and having no desire whatsoever for anybody. It's cool. It's nice. It's
what
free.
happened for you at 9?
When I was 9 years old, boys were cute, but I didn't have a sexual drive. You freak.
No Corys?
Why are there so many Corys? I have been practicing my voices. I don't know if they work.
Okay, try them out.
Now I can't do it.
Okay.
The voices for your vagina?
Oh, that's a whole different story.
Or just voices?
Voices
your
of
classes?
my vagina. By what's her name? Maya Angelou. Whatever the fuck her name was. Anyway. No, class I have not been faithful to, but I have all the gear, so I'm going back to it when I do.
Oh, that's right. Did you finish the video game?
Yeah.
The video game. Oh, that's not. Well, yeah. Well, no. My voice for that's
yeah,
done.
but no. Yeah, but
you. No, it's.
You got fingered.
Finger. No, it's. Well, the voices are done. I got a hold of Judy. And said, is this thing still going on? She goes, oh, yes, this is taking a long time. I'm like, okay,
We've
fine.
all been doing it just fine. Where have you been?
Voices are fine, I guess.
We're all done.
I have to send you the picture of my character, too. I should post that somewhere.
Street Fighter 1.
There's supposed to be another one coming up. I don't know. But, no, the voices I've been listening to a lot of Family Guy, and I noticed how Stewie has evolved. Because when he first came out, he was very high, very high register, very quick sort of, and then as it got older, the voice got deeper.
Really?
Yeah. It's weird. Because I heard him the other day, Brian was watching Stewie. Stewie's like, hey, don't watch me when I'm doing stuff. His voice has gotten so deep. It's weird.
It's funny you mentioned
Peter! That's my only.
You mentioned that. I have found two things.
Thank God for that.
So I'm most disgusted with myself.
Nothing's better to start a topic with. I'm most disgusted with myself.
Yes, when a conversation has devolved to the point that I'm talking about my cell phone plan, but only slightly better than that.
That's it. Goodbye.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
That's been the Tangent Lounge.
Cha-ching, door closed and lights off. Ghost light. Only slightly better than that is when I'm talking about television shows.
Okay. I got one for you. Back pocket. We'll discuss it in a minute.
Ironically, though, since I was a child, I remember being at daycare center and actually talking to a kid and asking him if he saw something on TV the night before. I can't remember what it was. And of course, we all had that hive mind thing going on at the time of having watched the same thing, and it would be like, "Hey, did you watch the A-Team last night? Wasn't that rad?" Mm-hmm. And even at that point, getting a little pit in my stomach, going, "Fuck, I'm boring the fuck out of myself with this talk of TV." But ironically, I have recently been enjoying the shit out of the TV Guidance Counselor podcast.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
It's surprisingly, it's like comfort food. And I think that's sort of the point of it, is that he has, so this Boston comic, Ken Reed, has all of the TV guides from like 2000.
I got to hashtag this guy.
And before.
Right? Did I get that right? Okay.
He's actually pretty rad. And he has a guest, and some pretty impressive guests. So actually, like Ted Danson and that level of luminaries and people who have been in TV and done all kinds of things. All
right, then.
250 some odd episodes.
Oh, okay.
It's actually really enjoyable. But again, it's people talking about what they would watch on TV. So what he does is this is a July 1987 week 3 TV guide. What would you watch that week? And let's talk about it.
Wow.
The premise is fucking terrible. If I were doing it, I would not listen to this fucking show. And yet his stuff and the people he has on, super enjoyable.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So in that vein, Mrs. E and I have been searching for a new show. We just finished one up and we're like, hey, let's watch a new show. So like last night, went through, god damn, there's some bad content on TV. We don't have
like
cable.
TV or the streaming?
The streaming, because we don't have TV.
Well, yeah, we got some shit, but we got some gold.
Well, that's the thing.
I'm sorry, but this is kind of like the golden age of television right now.
Yeah, but it's amazing. It's again, pardon my boredom, but the shade, the very shadow of this is a good show versus this is a dog shit show.
Right.
Premise can be great, writing can be decent, acting can be okay, but there's something about the production value or something. The people are all too pretty and young, or I don't know what it is. We tried watching Salem last night.
I tried. I should like this.
Exactly. We went to Salem a year ago, and I think we talked about it on the show. We went to Salem, Massachusetts, and we were there in the witch house, which is in the fucking show.
And I'm a spooky bitch.
Cotton Mather.
I should like this shit, and negative.
Exactly.
It just kind of didn't grab me.
A veneer, a shine. There's something that's
take the mic,
either too much there or not enough there that makes them a bad show. Now, with that being said, and I'm sure you will both have some suggestions of something good here, The Patriot.
Haven't seen it.
On Amazon, on Prime.
Okay.
Free as a bean.
Okay.
Fucking incredible.
Patriot.
The Patriot.
What's the madness with that? That's not... Oh, wait. That's not Turn, is it? No, Turn's different.
No. This is an attractive man in his 30s who isn't too pretty, but his dad is like a CIA director type. He's an agent, and he gets sent to Luxembourg. Now he has to go to work for this company that does pipe fitting and shit, and all engineering. The genius comedy. Okay, so you know how hard it is to do comedy, right? Generally speaking,
I'm a fucking comedy genius.
Exactly. So I know I'm talking to two of them right now, two comedy geniuses that understand the difficulty of good comedy. Now, this is not intending to be inherently funny. This is a drama. But it is the funniest fucking thing you've ever seen in your life. And the tech talk, right? So he goes to work for an industrial piping company that does work in Luxembourg, so that he, as an employee of this company, can travel to Luxembourg and deal with what the shit he has to deal with for international espionage and what have you.
Right.
But the people that he's working for don't know that. So he's trying to be an engineer, and they have the most over-the-top, ridiculous technical talk about J-bolts and Marion joints and shit, and it is absolute fucking comedy.
So like an engineer's wet dream.
Exactly.
Nice.
And things in this show go sideways in a way, but are treated with a reverence of the real world. So he deals with what in many shows and movies and stories in general would be considered a minor event, and ends up having to kill somebody, and that and so many times that would just be blown, no big deal. That turns into the crux of the whole show. He's being investigated by a woman who runs an investigative department of the Luxembourg Police Department, and she's incredibly brilliant. And oh my fucking god, the show is absolute comedy gold, as well as just gold in general.
Well, I'll have to check it out. I mean, I've seen the advert.
Right, and I was told by
Netflix.
2 or 3 different people to watch us, and it's one of those, yeah, I'll get to it. Fantastic. Go.
Okay, here's my latest find.
Okay, let me know.
Norseman. Now, we've all heard of the Vikings on the History Channel, which is the shit,
And
by the way.
Some of us who used to work in the tire business have heard of the tire. there was a company that made a Norseman tire.
Yeah, but I'll bet you, though,
it was very hard.
that the lead of the Vikings is much cuter than the tire.
More
sidestep. Yeah, Ragnar. Arrgh. But anyway, this new show.
Quick tangent. I
God.
had a book. I had a book called Uncle Ragnar's Guide to
You did.
Improvised Home Explosives. Probably the kind of thing that would have got me on a blacklist, but
A little bit.
go on. Anyway.
I tried to get on a list right after 9/11. Didn't work.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You need a beard.
I did.
Or
Come on, it's
a darker
perimenopause.
beard.
I got a beard. Just don't say it.
Yeah, moving on.
I pluck that shit. Anyway, Norseman.
Norseman.
Okay,
The
came out in
gods.
2016.
Okay.
I'm thinking, okay, it's just a fucking Vikings ripoff.
God
Robert,
damn it.
it's comedy.
Is it?
It's like The Office in ancient Viking lore. I kid you not. They talk about shit that we talk about now, but they're all in the time period. And the thing is, though, the clothing is accurate. The whole the scenery is accurate. The tools are everything is horribly accurate. But they're talking about stuff that is very things we would talk about right now in a Viking culture. It is funny because at first you start watching it and you're like, was I supposed to, did that just happen?
I love that.
Am I supposed to laugh at that?
What service is this one on?
The Netflix.
Okay.
And it's I call it casual fly over your head comedy. Let it flow over your comedy. Because it doesn't, it's not in your face.
All right.
It doesn't flag itself as a comedy.
Same thing with Patriot.
Yeah, it's just like, did he what? Like they have the scene where, I'm going to give one away. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
But somebody dies. The chieftain
Spoiler
dies.
alert.
Chieftain dies, whatever. And in Viking lore, to die, they put you in the ship and the boat and they sail you out to the sea. And then once you're about a quarter of the way out, they shoot the arrow on flame.
Flaming arrows at you.
The guy who took over as chieftain is an idiot. 17 tries. He's like, no, wait, one more. One more. There's gonna be one more. And he's like, and he's halfway gone. He goes, oh, slate. And it's just very, very casual funny.
English humor?
English humor, but by Scandinavians. It was originally, right?
Hey, there
it was
it is. That
originally
explains the
done
hype.
in, I don't remember which Scandinavian country it was originally done in that language, and then they did one in English.
Oh my.
Does Denmark count as a Scandinavian country? Because
I thought it was Sweden, Finland,
Norway, Norge, the Norge repairman.
So yeah, so Norseman, check it out. And some people go, it's not funny. Well, fuck you. I think it's funny, and it's kind of a sleeper thing. Not many people know about it.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. Anybody else got a comedy gold? I got another one too when you guys are done.
Okay, Anissa, what do you got?
I don't have anything.
Really?
Yeah, I haven't been much into the Netflix of anything current. I've just been kind of watching old things. I did try to watch Ozark.
Ozark, yeah.
Okay, I'm a 50% Norwegian, so give me a break. Yeah, sure, by you many y'all.
You betcha.
You betcha.
Did you have a lutefisk?
Oh, I did not have that. I used to serve at Lutefisk dinners,
Mr.
and that was
Lundegard.
horrible.
Hot dish.
Yeah, hot dish and casserole and soda pop. But yeah, so
Very
I tried to
convincing.
watch Ozark. There we go.
Was it good?
I didn't think so. I tried to do 2 episodes last night. It was very predictable. They try to make these high tense scenes, but you know what has to happen so that the story can continue. But I love Jason Bateman.
Me too.
So I'm like,
Oh.
this has to get good. This just has to. And
His
2 episodes in, and
I think I'm a lone dissenter, but his movie Bad Words, not good.
I never saw it.
so is it like Arrested Development and he's done?
No, well, Arrested Development was kick-ass.
What was the one where Will Smith was a superhero? A reluctant superhero. What was that one?
Oh, Hancock?
That was a good one. I liked Hancock. And Jason was good in that one. Like I know him personally. I'm calling him Jason. But
My boy.
My boy. There's a channel called the Comic-Con channel.
Really?
Nice.
Nerd. It's a subscription service. It's like $3 a month. It's not a big deal. $4 something.
You gotta have blood type N.
You're right. And for those folks out there, that one guy who's a Firefly fan, the show Firefly. Oh, this likes Firefly. Good.
I tried to.
What?
See, this is what's happening on the other side of the table. This is why he's on the other side of the table.
Exactly.
Fucking
There
bastard.
it is. Throw it over.
Anyway, so a lot of people like the Firefly, and then the movie Serendipity.
Captain Hammer's good.
Serenity. Sorry. Again, 4 Advil.
There was a movie
3
Serendipity.
ciders.
There was a movie.
And a partridge in a pear tree. Anyway, so Alan Tudyk, who played Wash on that show, and has done a lot of things. He's been in tons of stuff.
Super cool guy.
Yes. and
Pirate Steve.
Pirate Steve. And he has a show called Con Man, which is Comic-Con Man.
Ah, Anti-Pro Man.
And he plays a character that did a sci-fi show that got canceled early. And he goes to all these Comic-Cons. He's trying to break out of that mold and do other things. He is the funniest fucking guy on TV right now, and nobody knows it unless they watch that on the Comic-Con channel. He has some scenes. I mean, if you want to YouTube some scenes, you can. He's just amazing. There are some scenes I played over and over again to the point where I wet myself.
Alan Tudyk reminds me of one of those guys that's got the natural ability and demeanor of like a Tom Kenny or a Billy
West.
Billy West.
Yeah. Water in my mouth. Sorry. Oh no, I heart voiceover guys.
Yeah.
Alan Tudyk played the rooster.
Yes, in Moana.
Just the rooster.
Fucking hilarious.
That's it.
The YouTube video, watching him do it is amazing.
It's a guy who's like trained theatrically, and he plays the fucking rooster. Got banked for it. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, he's just amazing. He's the guy who's in Meteor Shower, the play I'm going to go see in New York.
Right. Talk about that.
With I've never been to New York, and on the come on. Well, I'm a West Coaster. I've never.
The look that Anissa just gave tells us that she has.
Yeah, you clearly have.
No, I haven't. I just assumed with like your theater like person that like you'd have to go to New York.
Nah, I was always too poor.
That and all the nudie booths that she spent. Yeah.
Anyway. So on the Facebooks they had an ad from Theater Mania about Meteor Shower, and it's got Amy Schumer, Keegan-Michael Key from Key and Peele, who is damn good looking, okay? Yeah. He's on the list. And Alan Tudyk, who's also on the list.
Better than Alan Wonder.
And Amy Schumer on the list. Why not? Put them all on the list.
Sure, yeah.
And they're all on the same fucking show. So I put on Facebook, who wants to go? And my friend, you can go. I remember. And my friend Lisa.
Sign her up.
LV. We went to San Diego State together back in the day. She lives in Seattle. She's an actor in Seattle. And she said, let's do it. So we're both going to fly into Jersey and drive in somehow into New York and see the show. Spend some time on the first, fuck around on the second, see the show on the second. I'm flying out on the third. She's flying out on the fourth. Back home. It's really like a quick bang zoom because it's on the bucket list, the bouquet list, to see a Broadway show, an actual Broadway show. We bought the tickets already. We got the hotel room. I just have to buy the airplane tickets.
Damn, look at you.
So because I'm like, after you have a significant, and you guys have had significant things in your life, I'm not the only one, but once
you are.
Once you lose a parent, if not two,
or a parrot,
because I am now, well, that too, or a parakeet.
They last a long time.
Stoned, earlier reference.
Oh yeah,
pining for the fjords.
Parrot.
But I'm technically a middle-aged orphan. That's a category, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, some psychologist made some money about that.
Oh, it's on the census.
Is it? Neat.
Swipe right.
Middle-aged orphan. Check. Peas when laughs. Anyway, so that was a significant event, and I'm like, oh man, my mom never got to go anywhere else but California, Arizona, Nevada, and Utah. Never to Canada, never to Mexico, never to Europe. No one in my immediate family has ever been anywhere else. My brother has been to Mexico. He may have been to Canada, not sure. My sister sure as fuck hasn't done anything. So nobody has done anything in my immediate family, even my secondary family. So I'm like...
Have any of them been to Lebanon?
Yeah, the real one or the one I live in? So it's kind of like, okay, I need to do this now. I need to do this.
Yes.
And I got the passport. That was a summer goal.
You don't need a passport to go to New York.
Now you fucking tell me. No,
yeah.
But concurrently, I wanted to get
a
passport.
escape from New York.
Precisely with, with the eye patch.
Snake Plissken.
Snake, yeah. Snake, whatever.
Plissken.
Plissken sounds like a lawyer. Plissken and Hargan, But anyway, so I got
That's the funniest thing you've said all night.
Your face is the funniest thing I've said all night. But no, it's I don't get a chance to do shtick. If you want me to do shtick on here, I'll do shtick. No, but anyway.
Speech-stick.
Your speech-stick. But I wanted to get my passport. I had not done that. And that was a summer goal. Completed.
Well done.
Yeah, so I want to go to...
They don't stamp them anymore. What the fuck?
What?
No.
Oh, really?
I don't think so.
Well, they just look at it?
Yeah.
Can't they just do their lipstick?
You think?
On it? Well, because I want to go to. I've heard now that they have a tour in Ireland of where Game of Thrones is filmed, and that you can learn how to shoot arrows in Winterfell.
Now be careful where you go because there's Game of Thrones and then there's Gay of Thrones, which is there's a lot more techno and body oil, but in the end, also enjoyable.
Body oil. Yeah,
enjoyable.
but yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Laughs. Anyway, so I'm super stoked about that. But the New York thing I think is going to be fun. It's going to be quick. I find that quick vacations are actually better.
Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, I have a goal. Boom, boom, boom. Out. Cheaper. Been there. Done what I wanted to do. Good night, everybody.
Get in, get out, pick up the drugs.
Precisely. Yeah. Transport in my vagina. Segue. Vaginas.
Let's talk about those.
This is a get off my lawn moment from last time. Yo, kids, get off the lawn. Eggs in one's vagina. Now, not actual chicken eggs, because those will break.
Or spider eggs, because that's
gross. Or spider eggs, because that can happen in your ear. Saw it online.
Oh.
Anyway, Gwyneth Paltrow, health specialist,
our hero,
and certified physician,
consciously
Gwyneth Paltrow, has on her Goop website.
Goop. Damn it. You know, she and I were born on the same day.
Don't say that.
Of the same year.
Don't say that.
I'm sorry.
There's an episode of Columbo. Now, we're Columbo fans.
There's an episode.
Tangent.
We went from vaginas.
I didn't have to say it.
To fucking Columbo.
We're fans here in the household. And there's an episode of Columbo where, what's Gwyneth's mom's name?
Oh,
you know what?
It's right there.
Yeah. Anyway, she was in this episode as the young ingenue.
Blythe Danner.
Look at you.
Not dementia yet.
Yeah. That's like a brand of boot. She was, I believe, had a little baby bump in this episode of Columbo, carrying around my girl, Gwyneth, same day as my mom was passing out in the parking lot of a grocery store behind an old man who was pulling out, who thought he ran her over. But no, she was just pregnant.
So not as fun.
17.
Yeah, pulling out.
Wow.
Pulling out has nothing to do with pregnancy.
Yeah. Well, it should.
For old guys. Moving on.
So she has a product on her Goop website that it's shaped like an egg, about the size of a chicken egg. Mm-hmm. It comes in jade.
Does it vibrate?
I don't think so. I think it's literally just for vaginal muscle exercise, whatever. Mm-hmm. There's a jade one and there's a rose quartz one. $66.
Well,
for a Kegel exercise.
Not so bad.
And the thing that gets
me... Does it have a weight that hangs out of it? Or is it...
See, that's what I'm thinking. How the fuck do you get it out? Because I had like a diagram of someone, a chick putting it in. And I'm like, I don't know.
Once you're there.
You're there.
Yeah.
And the thing is, $66 for this thing. And then they're saying, oh, if you get the rose quartz one, then more feelings of love will come your way. It's your fucking ganooch. There is no way that the universe is going to pinpoint your ganooch with rose quartz in your V and say, oh, more love for this person. When the person down the street has cancer, we're going to ignore them.
Well,
universe.
Have you tried it?
No, I'm not going to pay $66 for a ganooch thing unless you want to sponsor this shit.
There you go. Well,
do you want to get like a
Patreon? Hey, let's take a break and let our interstitial do the talking.
Let it be known.
Yay. You're listening to The Tangent Lounge with Electric Gary and Dorrie, just Dorrie, and we're available on Podbean and Stitcher and iTunes and Gmail and all that shit at Tangent Lounge. Give us a listen. And maybe a review. And we're back.
Seriously, that was fast. I didn't have to pee. Yeah. Well, actually, I did, but I didn't tell anyone.
Well, that's my chair.
Yeah, sorry about that. No, but anyway, so we talked about that.
Okay. So we had to reschedule recently, which worked out great because Anissa hasn't been feeling well lately.
Right.
And we're glad to have her back out here in the sunshine, getting some vitamin D.
Out here in the totality.
So to speak.
Call back.
I was losing my mind. So we had we were scheduled to record a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, and Dorrie was like, hey, do you mind if we not? Because Dart's acting up and talking sideways in the old Chucharino there. And I was like, okay, cool, because I just got kicked in the taco this week because it's been driving me nuts. And actually things have gotten a little bit better. But hey, right now, while I'm remembering, I want to do a shout out to my new friend, Madison.
Hey!
Who we were on a service call. So part of my life is being an electrician. And in doing so, I had gone on a service call to this young woman's house, and she had a dryer that needed rewiring, which is no big deal. It's easy enough. And I get there, and super friendly. We're chatting away, and everything's great. And I'm working on her thing, and I got this breaker. Now, breakers are usually like $8. And her panel is this old, fucked up kind of panel that it's a special thing. So I get this special breaker to show up at her house. It's $72. Yeah. Kick ass. Well, the breaker she had was the right size, but the handles weren't tied together, and it's a thing. And so I was like, okay, well, let's change this thing anyway. And we've got these screws that tighten down on the wire. So they're a very specific size screw, and they've got to be, this is like boredom shit, but it's also Electric Gary's Project Corner. And the screws were tightened already. So I loosen the screws up and I go over to put them in. And by the time I get to her electrical panel, one screw's gone. Motherfucker. She has kind of a carporty area where her dryer is outdoors, and there's gravel and stuff on the floor and whatever else. And screw dropping in that shit, you're not finding it, especially if you don't know when you dropped it, which I didn't. So I put breaker in, noticed screws missing, gotta have it, and thought, okay, fine. I'd look around on hands and knees. How I spend most of my time.
Hands and knees.
Yes, it's a acquiescent position, and I go, okay, well, after many minutes of fucking with that, I decide I'm gonna take out other screw and go to the van and see if I can dig around and find a replacement. As I pull other screw out, tink, it fucking disappears too. Now I'm missing both screws of $72 useless now breaker, and losing my mind a little bit. Got to drive back to town. I'm out north of Corvallis a little ways, and buy another goddamn $72 breaker. I find the manufacturer online. I call the guys at their shop back east. It's Connecticut Electric, which I'm guessing is probably in Maine. And I talk to the guy and I say, hey, I just lost both screws and a brand new breaker. Could you maybe send me some new ones? Guy's like, cool, no problem. I'll send you some new ones free of charge. Don't worry about it. Nice. Thank you. Go back, put in breaker. Everything goes great. Days later, I find out that I had the right fucking breaker in the van the whole time. Just enough to twist the little screw in my brain as I was losing my mind. And of course, not charging them for the time it took me to go back and get the second one. Anyway, this is all boring shit. But in the interim, I overhear Madison, the young woman that I'm working for, talking to her mom, and she mentioned that she listens to Last Podcast on the Left, which is a name I know, but a show I don't listen to, and it's one that I hear mentioned on the Keith and the Girl podcast that I would say I'm a listener of, but I haven't listened to in a while. Anyway, New York show, done, I think, at the Creek in the Cave, which is a known comedy show, and right now it's 8:17 p.m. on Saturday night, and it's 11:15 p.m. in New York, and they're probably doing their shows there right now. And so I point out, hey, you listen to podcasts. Interesting. I have a podcast, and here's my card. And she was super excited, and I told her I'd give her a shout out because we were recording that very night while we were working. And then Dorrie called up and canceled, and I was really cool with it. But anyway, Madison, this show's for you.
Yay! So, wow, there was a long road to that, huh, kids?
Yeah, round about.
Still with us.
So yeah, okay, so here's a question. Complete and utter different topic to some extent.
Also known as a tangent.
Yeah. Or the complete and utter different topic lounge. If you could replace one actor or actress who is doing a voice over a cartoon type animation right now, who would you, like, what character would you do?
Well, I mean, the obvious answer is H. John Benjamin.
Whose vocal cords I'm in love with. I mean, he thought I was a dork. Remember with the fan? Who brings a fan to a show? I brought a fan. Well, Gary and I went to go see, no, it was just you and I. Yeah.
We did, yeah.
Went to go see Bob's Burgers live.
Table read.
3 years ago?
It has been like
4.
Real quick.
Probably 4, maybe.
Probably.
That was pre-dart.
Hotter than balls.
There was pre-dart. It was like 1,000 degrees in Portland.
Yeah.
And I always brought a fan with me.
Somebody was wearing
my hand fan.
a Gene Berger outfit, as I recall.
Yes.
And somebody else had the Louise hat.
Yes. Aww. Which, side note, I got the Louise ears over the summer.
Did you?
I got the bunny ears. I'm so excited. Anyway, yeah, so we decided to go. We're like, yeah, because we're big fans, and I'm currently having an affair with his vocal cords. H. John Benjamin. Just the vocal cords.
Yeah.
Which can be kind of gross if you think about it. But anyway.
A little.
So we went. It was really hot in that theater, and they actually had to bring ginormous fans onto the stage for them. And I think he was talking to me. It seemed like he was talking to me.
I think it was.
Who brings a fan to a... What do you say? Who brings a fan to...
I forget what that part was, but I do recall the women behind us quite glad that she had a fan.
Oh, yeah.
They got a little bit of a breeze.
Yeah, he goes, who brings a fan anymore?
She had the hand fan. I'm like,
this bitch brings a fan. And the girls behind her are like, oh, thank God. Yeah. So I've seen him in action. He's kind of a dick. I've seen him on different other shows where he's talking. He's kind of an asshole to the crowd, but I admire his vocal ability. It's not terribly variant. It doesn't vary terribly much, but he's got a thing, he's got a shtick, he's got the sound, which is great. So that's why it's just.
Did you ever see that video that he did? And I think Chad might have shared it with me, where they do a complete dramatic scene with he and his wife. I'm not sure whether it was his real wife. I kind of doubt it, but
I think he does.
There was emotion and crying and catharsis between the two of them, and something about their long-term relationship, and it was very emotionally deep the entire time he's wearing a chin dildo.
Oh, I did see that. I did. So he is the funny guy. I mean, he's funny. He's got a good voice. He was born with an excellent voice and excellent timing. Yeah. I've just seen him be kind of dick to people in lines. I've watched him do other like talk-throughs, like a con and stuff, and he's kind of an asshole to the point where other cast members are like, dude. Anyway, where are we talking about that? Oh, the voice. Who would you? You said John Benjamin doing anything, or would it be doing Coach?
Mostly Archer, I think.
Archer?
Yeah.
You kind of look like Archer.
Okay.
You kind of do. That's a good thing.
Better look than John does.
Well, Jewish lawyer.
That'll work.
Is what I'd come. But I would probably do Luann from King of the Hill.
Oh.
Possibly.
Well.
Or Lois.
Luann. Didn't she die?
I can't do that now.
Well, that was
she's quite dead.
That was Brittany Murphy.
She's super dead.
Yeah.
So if they ever do like a remake, I'm gonna go. Let's see if I can do it. I used to be able to do it quite well.
They did a lot of quality. Actually, that was a really quality show for a long time.
I loved King of the Hill so much because that was part of my dad. My dad was if Hank Hill, Andy Griffith, and Archie Bunker had a love child, would have been my father.
With hemorrhoids.
With what?
With hemorrhoids.
With him? Oh, with hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There was a lot of hemorrhoid talk in my house. He was the one who would like fart and make a production out of it, my father.
Good man.
I wish he would have lived longer than he did. Yeah. Because he...
How old were you?
Huh?
How old were you when you died?
I was teaching in Arizona, so I was probably 30s, I want to say. I think 40 maybe? No, maybe I was 40, I guess. I don't know. He died when he was like 80 in 2002. So how old am I now? I'm 53. 2002. Somebody do some math, ladies and gentlemen, because I suck at math, I know. So maybe 40, something like that. Somewhere around that era. But I wish he would have lived a tad longer because he was fucking funny. Yeah. He was a funny man. We our family had one thing going for us for surezies, and that was humor. Every last one of us, mom, dad, all the kids, all three of us, everybody had humor.
Carrying it on.
And we didn't think that was just normal. The people are supposed to laugh.
Yeah.
And my mom, obviously, she wasn't as overtly gross as myself and my dad, because he would fart and I would just fucking roll, on the floor. Because he'd make a production out of it. He'd fart and raise himself out of the easy chair. Like it was like and he had this look on his face like it was like, oh, and it was just very, very silly.
That's loving.
It is very silly and just really goofy. My mom was like, oh, Dorrie. Or I'd be she would be like the trying to keep me female, not be so dude-ish when I was a kid. Because I related to my dad's sense of humor. It was just dumb. It was silly. And we watched things like MASH, and even though my dad would complain about it because Alan Alda clearly is a commie pinko, right? But we would watch because he knew it was funny. Inherently, he knew it was funny. And then when Colonel Potter came on, Dad was a fan because my dad was also Sherman Potter.
He related.
Yeah. So, I wish you guys would have known. Actually, both my parents.
Yeah.
I think growing up, my house was everybody's coming here. Okay. It was like, even if I wasn't going out to do something, everybody'd still park their cars there.
Right on.
And go and do something because they knew it was like a safe zone. I'd come over, my mom would feed everyone.
Yeah.
Or they'd come over, rather. She'd feed everybody. My dad was very accepting of people, but he stayed out of the way. He didn't hover.
Good.
Even though he was a horrific racist, He would never. He did it though, but it was a weird.
In a loving way.
Well, because he was brought up, and I think I talked about this before. He was brought up by Kentucky parents.
Oh shit! Yeah.
He was born in the 20s.
Oh.
Hello.
Good Lord.
Right.
How could you not be?
I know, and we had relatives who fought in the Civil War on the wrong side. Okay. Wrong side. So, yeah, right. But I would bring over friends. One was black, one was gay, one was Latino, one was whatever. I've talked about this before.
Cialis commercial?
Yeah, Benetton, whatever. But he loved them.
Yeah, good.
He loved them. But then he'd. I can't say the words he would say. I remember he told me one time to call a girl a negative Hispanic word because she was actually being a dick to me. She was picking on me.
Yeah.
So his response was, "Call her a blank. That'll teach her." I can't even say the word.
Rhymes with wiener?
No.
No?
Oh, no worse.
Rhymes with hick?
Yep.
Okay.
First part of span. Yeah. So
I somehow think that would not really change her behavior, but anyway.
I don't know. But I wish you guys could have met them because I think you guys, there's that 40,000 club theory that I have that there are only 40,000 souls in the universe. It's loosely based on Jehovah's Witness. I'm not that. Or no, not Jehovah's Witness. What's the other one?
Can I throw away this watchtower now, or do I have to actually...
Not Jehovah's Witness. It's the other one. The other folks who are like sort of Jehovah, but not. I can't remember the fucking name. Anyway.
Mormons?
No. There's a theory that only 40,000 souls or whatever. But
Scientology.
We used to get... Don't get me started on that because I'm a fucking freak about that shit. But anyway.
Bring it on.
Certain people are only reborn. But you run into the same folk. And you all end up cluster fucking together in one way, shape, or form. Right? And you guys would have been part of our 40,000 club in high school. Do you see what I mean? Like in high school and early college.
Big graduating class.
That would have been... You meet certain people and go, yeah.
Yeah.
You would have fit right the fuck in.
They're in the nurse.
They're there.
Right.
And it's kind of because I'm so much older than everybody.
I am said so.
Methuselah. I'm a 2,000-year-old man. No, but it's just I am older than most of my peer group. No, my non-peer group, but my peer group of social. Mm-hmm. Except for like Johanna. That's it. Really. Everybody else. Sorry, Sandra. I gotta get that in there.
There it is.
Yeah. Everybody else is younger. So it's like, God, I try to imagine you guys.
You're young of heart.
Well, I try to imagine you guys what it would have been like had you been in my age group where I grew up around my parents, our goofy things that we all did as kids, how you guys would have fit into that.
Yeah.
That's weird.
It is weird.
That's the Advil talking.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anissa.
Get fucking Dorrie out of here. There you go. I'm going to go pee-pee.
Talk about your...
No, it's hard because I've been trying to think this whole time while you've been sharing, like, what animated character, and I honestly...
We totally did.
Exactly. Let's get back to that.
I don't have much ear goop.
Yeah.
I don't...
Get on board there.
Get your cans on there.
Yeah. How's
I
that?
will have a wee.
Oh, Jesus.
Now I'm in your head.
So
Dang it. But yeah, I've been thinking this whole time, and I don't have anything because, like, I don't do voices. That's never been a thing of mine. I don't find myself very funny. I don't watch a lot of animated things. Like,
you have made entire rooms bust the fuck up.
But the thing is, it's hard though because I didn't watch King of the Hill. I haven't watched Bob's Burger. I haven't watched all these amazing
Simpsons. Anything?
Simpsons? No.
You're not a cartoon girl?
No.
Well, then let's talk about your parents.
My parents.
Okay.
So my dad died when I was 5.
Oh.
So he died of pancreatic cancer.
Yikes.
But I'm told that I'm very much like him. I actually remember growing up and being like, I think I'm adopted because I don't look like my mom and my brother. I don't act like them. But then as I got older, my mom was very much like, oh, you're just like your dad. So, yeah, there's that.
Is your brother older or younger?
He's older, 2 years older.
Oh.
Very much different than me. Oh, hard to get along with because he's too smart. So smart.
That can be a problem. See, I don't have that, and I'm so glad.
Yeah, it was definitely a struggle growing up with him because he always got picked on and whatnot. And
the world is not made for the super smart.
Yeah.
Right, Dorrie? Anyway, the world, genuinely, the world is made for people of average height and that are right-handed and of average intelligence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, he always struggled.
Not anymore. I beg to differ.
Well,
not anymore. It is really a nerd. I'm just fucking talking to the wind. I don't have a mic. I got nothing.
Well.
Ouch. just pinch my hand in my own headset. I think now, though, it is cool to be a nerd. It is cool to be intelligent. It is cool to be different now, which is almost counterproductive because we always want to be different, but now we're different, therefore we are conforming.
Right. True. But the cars are still made up to shift with the right hand. That's really what I'm getting to. But I can't do that. You were talking about your brother.
Yes. I was. No, huge history buff, amazingly smart. But yeah, I was always Jordan's little sister, and so of course that was hell growing up because I was nothing like him, but automatically you get ostracized because of who your siblings are. I don't know if you guys had older siblings or not, if you were the eldest and kind of like led the way, but
you're not.
It was too much. I'm the youngest, but they were way older. So the teachers had died out by then.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah. No. I also graduated from a high school where there was like 70 people in a graduating class. So everyone knew everyone. Horrible small town. I hated it. My mom, pretty awesome lady. Yeah, I don't really know what to say except I'm super proud of her. She actually like left our small town and moved to a place where she has old friends and political views that are pretty similar and things like that. So that's super rad.
Good for her.
Yeah, and I got close to her. I used to be like pretty separate from her. I actually remember one time when I was like 21 actually hanging up the phone and saying fuck you. Whoa. Yeah, but now we're like really good friends.
Well,
so like, I don't know.
As that goes, just the once, you're fine.
Yeah, that's my family. That's so far my mom's still alive. Yay. Dad died so long ago. Oh. But his birthday was just the other day, and I was actually really surprised how sad I got. Oh. Because normally it was just another day, so I don't know what that was all about. That was really weird. But yeah, to know that he was like, he would have been 68.
Wow.
And
pretty interesting.
Did mom ever move on relationally?
No, she had a few things here and there, but nothing serious. Like her main goal was to raise us kids. Like, that's what the focus became. She was totally in second gear. That's why I'm so happy that she moved somewhere where hopefully she's going to be more happy and do more things for herself and get more friends and things like that. And then I want to go visit because then it'll actually be fun to go home.
Where does she live?
She lives in Minnesota.
Wow.
Yeah.
Does she have the accent?
She stayed home. Yeah. I'll get the accent when I go visit her. It'll come back. But apparently I still have it when I get whiny or I'm angry. No, don't. No. So don't get me angry or whiny.
Okay, we'll work on that. It's interesting as I get older to realize that older people have lives.
What?
Yeah, I know. You don't really expect that because as a kid you look at people that are in their 20s as well, they're old, and then you look at people in their 30s and they're like, well, clearly all they do is work and go home and lay and watch TV and then go to bed, so they're old and depressing. And then it just gets worse and worse and worse, and then eventually you're dead. But
wow,
I know.
To look forward to.
So it's strange to be now 45, and I'm still waiting for my delightful mother-in-law got me a fantastic watch for my 40th birthday, and the battery hasn't died yet. So that's my like ticking time bomb of age. So as soon as the battery dies on that watch, I'm officially old, and it's still going strong, which is weird.
Wow,
I know.
You're okay.
Okay.
This is the get off my lawn.
Get off my dick.
Yeah, get off my dick. No, the thing is, age has changed so drastically from when I was growing up.
Yeah.
Because at
our
my age,
perception of it, but either way,
what
else
matters? At my age, when Mom was my age, she had like the poof hair.
Bouffant?
Oh yeah.
Bees.
She had the boofy till like.
They call it beehive.
Beehive.
Yeah. It wasn't that high V. It was more poofy. It was big.
Not a snooky poof.
I don't know what the hell it was, but my sister did it. She wore it that way for decades, right? And, she wore, like, the sensible shoes and, like, the elastic, polyester pants.
Yeah,
she wore clothes that said, I am aged.
Mm-hmm.
People don't do that anymore. Well, most people don't do that. I don't do that.
No.
Because I'm 53. When Mom was 53, she was wearing what we called shifts.
The what now?
Shifts. Like as in a shift in a factory. Shift.
Up Schiff's Creek?
She would wear a shift. And a shift was like kind of a mini moo-moo, but it was usually like sleeveless.
Oh, like a shift dress.
Yeah. Snapped up the front. Maybe it's like an old school. Snapped up the front, kind of went down to the knee ski. Mm-hmm. And it was like a nightgown, but you could get away with it because it was a day gown.
That's hot.
It was a shift. And I used to tease her about her shifts. I go, Mom, I'm going to get you a shift with a matching hot pad if you don't watch it.
Shifts and shingles.
Yeah. So she would wear the shift, right? And the clothing was very like, okay, I am now getting old. And we don't do that.
People start that a little early, or they had in the past.
Regionally.
Yeah.
It must be because
That true.
I don't do that. Clearly.
No.
I mean, if I make it to 60, 70, whatever, 80.
I mean, you're wearing a thong right now. And
Don't care.
Yeah, I got purple hair. Don't give a fuck.
no.
And I'm not going to.
The spoons on your nipples are a bit of a touch, but I wasn't going to say anything.
That keeps people from hanging hats on them. And it's just something that I don't want to cave into. I want to still be able to do stuff. Now I think there are limits.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wear a miniskirt. Those days are past. I wore those up until I was in my I'd say mid 40s. I could pull it off.
Sure.
Still thin. It's a little old now. It's a little freakish to see me like a miniskirt. Unless I had leggings underneath it. That'd be different. But so there's certain limitations, I think, aesthetically. But I'm not going to go the way of my mom. I'm not going to have the poofy hairdo and I mean, she was born in the 20s, grew up 30s, 40s, whatever.
I do sometimes wonder what people of our generation are going to be like at the old folks' home.
You know what it's going to be? It's going to be a bunch of fucking ear-holy, tattoo-smeared bitches is what's going to happen, okay?
Playing a lot of dubstep.
Right. Dubstep and shit. Well, that's for you. Not for you, for her age. How old are you, may I ask?
32.
So, and this is 32. You're 45 and 53. So we've got 3 different generations here, really.
Yeah.
Which was like what it was in my household. Because Mom was born in 24, Sandra was born in 44, and I was born in 64.
No way.
Yeah. And
That's a lot of intentional
Gary
fucking.
was born in...
Yeah.
Gary was born in...
How many people did they have to abort
47.
to make that work?
Wow.
I mean...
They didn't have those then.
Eugenics galore.
They did not have those then. They didn't have them then.
Yeah, exactly.
The only reason I came around is because I fought my
Fought your way past the coat hanger?
No, past the... what's the little trampoline looking thing?
The diaphragm.
Yeah.
Diaphragm.
Yeah. My spermatozoa
duodenum.
counterpart went F it and went boom right around it.
Wow.
That's the only reason I was born.
The old man had a couple of fighters.
And I told you Dad went in 2 days later. Mom said, I'm pregnant. Boom. Like a cartoon character. He spun his legs. I fucked off to the doctor's office and got him snipped the next day because I can't do this. Because he was 41 or 42 when I was born.
Good Christ.
So only a couple of years younger than you. He was born with a newborn.
Yeah.
He went, I'm done.
Yeah, break a
No
bottle.
more of this.
Yeah,
Right? So, I mean, yeah. But, I mean, I think that people are kind of realizing, you don't have to relegate yourself to be aged now.
No.
Here's your aged clothing.
Yeah.
Do that. I don't think people do that anymore, which is good.
It's an interesting thing because you really don't feel any different as
Feel
you
free to take this.
get
Just
older
grab it.
and age. And I think I brought it up on the show before, but that's my theory as to why guys are inappropriate oftentimes, because as far as I'm concerned, I'm still one of the 20-something guys, hanging with the young people and being cool,
Gary,
which makes me super douchey.
Gary, you're not.
I know. Thank you. Thanks for pointing that out. But I'm aware of it to the point that I keep myself in check as much as possible. But as a regular dude that gets the rep as being Mr. Inappropriate, it's not necessarily that guy's all that creepy. He just feels like he's being the cool guy with the young people. It's no big deal. And it's dude, what the fuck?
Because the thing is though, a lot of times I'm not cognizant of my age.
Right.
Only when I get out of bed and go, I do the walk. Can I show you the walk? No one can see it.
You gotta make the noise.
But it's it's like I get up and I'm okay, I'm getting up and I do this.
Oh my God.
It's this thing. Hold on.
Walker.
See if I can do it. No, Walker.
Texas Ranger.
There we go. There it is.
It's a little bit of a shuffle.
It's a little bit of a shuffle until I get all the blood down to my feet. Because, I'm overweight and that's my own fault. My joints are fuck you. Had I been thinner, I wouldn't be in this position.
No,
it has
you
nothing
wouldn't.
to do with age.
It's okay.
See?
See?
Well, yeah, the shuffle thing. But I just don't, I'm not cognizant of it. I just relate to whoever I think is on my plane, to grab it.
But have your students kept you that way? You work with students, you work with young folks. Has that been an influence for you because you're around them?
Well, yeah, when I was teaching in a brick and mortar, yes. But not so much here, but I'm online. So I don't see them every day. I don't have to listen. So it's a little less of that. It's just I've always been very Peter Pan-ish. Don't take my shadow away kind of thing. Literary reference. I don't. I have never been one for just going, oh, I'm 50. Oh, okay, so that means I have to do something.
But I would kind of counter with that because getting to know you, I kind of didn't view you as old, but I viewed you as older. But at the same time, I viewed like there was this filter that could go through. Like you're able to relate to many ages. And I think like you talk about that there's more people out there that do that, but I think it's really something that's very unique to you and the way that you can do it. No, I'm being serious and honest right now.
That's sweet.
It's because I feel like there is like some sort of special thing in your brain that does allow you to kind of like go through the generations and somehow pick up on the different nuances of each person and be able to relate to them. So I don't think it's necessarily,
I'm gonna hug her, she doesn't like it.
The age thing. I think there is just, you have this intuition, that's within you that does help you be able to communicate with people across different generations.
Well
that
done.
is probably the fucking nicest thing that anybody said to me in a long time, including Gary. Because Gary fucking hates me. I mean, that's bottom line. We just do this because we're hoping to get money.
No,
someday.
I think the world of you, but I hold back.
You're withholding.
No, and no, she's got a great point. That is a great part of your personality is to drop that. I mean, you're not intentionally dropping it. It's just your personality to not see these as barriers.
Right.
Yes.
And by doing that, you're able to have genuine friendships and relationships with people that many people in your age range wouldn't normally allow themselves to have. Mm-hmm. Or if they did,
true.
it would be
or take the time to have.
Right.
Well, okay, yeah.
Or it would be weird because they're trying.
Yeah.
And you don't have to try. It just is your nature, which is fantastic.
Because I just see people and I go, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the first time I met Anissa. No. This is just everybody. That one guy is listening is going, I don't give a fuck right now.
Yeah.
We're
having a love in
mention
here.
those? Can I
sure.
mention those? She has some. What do you call them?
Finger ring splints.
Finger ring splints
That look like really cool
that
fucking
are
jewelry.
fucking awesome looking.
Yeah.
And they have a purpose for her. But when I first met her, the first thing I went is, that is the fucking raddest thing I've ever seen.
Like, I want
In
that.
fact, we were sitting out front of Cloud Kelly's, and I leaned over. Everybody was talking. I leaned over and goes, those are awesome. And just because it looked really cool. And it had nothing to do with like, I'm going to be in with the 30-year-old. It was just like, that's fucking rad.
Right.
And I admire these people who will take the time to actually, have some reciprocity with somebody my age. Because a lot of people who are younger than me wouldn't give a shit generally.
As a society, I don't know if it's just America or generally speaking, but it's so funny. So, quick tangent. Back in early, like 5th grade, we're learning about the civil rights movement and whatnot. And at that point, I'm thinking, whew, sure glad that's out of the way. Don't want to have to deal with any of this racism bullshit. It's all taken care of.
Duh!
Yeah.
Give me... Okay,
Oh.
next round.
Point being, we're so tied up in racism, we almost forget completely about ageism.
Oh, yeah.
Which is almost as big a thing that those of us who are younger, I regrettably refer to elder care homes as filing cabinets for the elderly. It's not a good thing, but it tends to be sort of...
That's funny.
I'm
sorry. I'm old. I see it. It's funny.
It's sort of what it is,
Yeah.
And it's hard to find that. Now,
That's my future, by the
I've got
way.
some people that I care very much about that are older, that are very old, but I'm aware of it. I would like to be blind to it. Kind of like racism in general. If I see a person of color, I see that color. I would like to not, but the nature of human beings is I can be honest with myself that I see that color, and there are things that go along with that, and I immediately think things that are terrible because I'm trying not to, stupid shit like that.
Right.
But I will not treat that person any differently, and I will be nice, and I will shake hands, and I would love to make friends with this person who is possibly different than me. Who gives a fuck? But because we've been so conditioned to work ourselves up into a frenzy about race, we forget about ageism.
Oh, yeah.
And it really is a thing.
Yeah.
It's a subtle thing. It's something we don't think about, but we do very automatically think, okay, that person's too young to be friends with, or that person's too old to be friends with.
So I don't see that.
And there you are.
I'm ageist blind.
Yes, you are.
Because I have friends older than me. Very few, though, which is interesting. Because not that many will...
Because they pretty much suck. But moving on.
What? I don't know. I just don't. I don't see the age, and I kind of go, the person's cool.
That's what age, race, blah, 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 blah. Any of that dynamic bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all boils down to who's cool.
Exactly. Who's not a dick.
Yeah.
All right, then I'll hang out with you.
Yeah.
And fortunately, though, I have not been a victim of ageism. Not yet.
Good.
I have not been. Nobody's... Well, in teaching, you don't have to be. That's the cool thing. You can be 80 and teach. to be honest, if you're good at it and you still have your marbles, especially online. But I've never been discriminated against for a role. I mean, Michael put me in Idiot Box at the age of, 52?
But it's because you're fantastic.
Well,
yeah.
But very rarely do you see it on, say, Saturday Night Live or anything else where you see women, especially in their mid-50s, doing physical comedy or doing comedy. It doesn't happen, and Michael gave me that option with both that and Robin Hood, so I haven't really been affected by it.
Well, and it's oddly, it's one of those things where it becomes notable where, oh, look at Betty White. She's doing so great.
Well, she's the shit.
Yeah. But at the same time, she's just another funny person. But no, we can't look past the fact that she's a funny woman in her 80s. Which
90s, dude.
Is she 90 now?
She's past 90.
Well, and there you go. And that can't be forgotten.
True. But it's working in her favor, though.
Well,
because she had work all her life.
Yeah.
She always had work. She's always doing something. But now she's got even an additional niche.
She's the person. She's
in her, like Stan Lee. Stan Lee is like in his early 90s, still has his faculties, still making fucking movies. Even if his wife passed. Mel Brooks, Carl Reiner.
Right.
And these people, that's their next niche. Is that, I'm a whatever, nonagenarian, where the fuck that word is. And they're still jamming.
The guy who did All in the Family was, fuck. I'm having a hard time remembering his name. Anyway.
The producer or?
Luminary of television from the past.
Yeah, I'll figure it out in a minute.
Yeah. He was recently in a book or wrote a book called something to the effect of how read the obituary in the morning if your name's not in it,
Oh, that's Carl Reiner.
Well, Carl Reiner was part of that, but then...
Because that's what his face is on that bit. Of
right.
If you're not in the obit, go on.
Yeah.
Because he was from back in Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah, who's
era.
also still around.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to be having more and more of this as we have this health,
I want the funny to last.
And they're going to die.
Yeah.
I know, but
I want the fact
funny...
that they haven't.
Thanks, Anissa. Wow.
What a downer.
Wah,
Good Christ. She's hoping.
I know.
Well, the more of them that die, the more space there is for us.
I'm hoping to live forever.
I know. I'm just going to hop back to the whole SNL thing. We were talking about older women, and I was like, there's a lady, I can't remember her name, so I had to look it up quick. Leslie Jones. She's 49. I would argue that she's probably the oldest woman of color or just woman in general that's been on the SNL cast.
You're right. No, she is. She's the absolute oldest. She is the oldest one.
Really?
And that's wonderful. I kind of want to start like a comedy troupe of people my age. Not to be ageist against you guys, but I mean just to be able to go, yeah, fuck off. That's been the Tangent Lounge. No, but I mean just to see if it could be done. Especially if all women could do, because I love doing men's parts.
Wow.
Huh?
Profile, swipe right.
Nothing
Okay.
wrong with that.
No, but I mean, and bees when giggles. But I mean, just the whole. Let's see if we could do this kind of thing, because I think that women are funny. Women can be very funny.
Oh fuck yeah.
And it's almost.
Did you
like,
see
Norman Lear, by the way, is the name you're looking for. See, the dementia has not come in. It's a high-fi. Ka-ching.
Okay.
Just a little delay.
No,
I found it.
Tina Fey's.
Her cake.
The cake.
Oh,
the sheet caking.
Sheet caking. Great. And people were pissed about that.
What?
Oh, yeah. See, I know the dark web. People were pissed about it because, well, that's all you can do is eat cake. I'm like, you fucking missed the point, you goddamn idiot. It's sarcastic satire, nothing else.
Genius.
She's not starting a fucking movement of people actually sheet caking. However, on the way home, I just might.
I say you should.
I say I should. And I think she's great. I love Amy Poehler even more.
Roller coaster.
Boulder Coaster, Amy Schumer, Carol Burnett. Lucille Ball.
Yeah.
There's some amazing female comedy shit out there. But
we can only count them like on our hands though.
You know, there's a lot of them though. The people don't remember. With what's his name? Yep, that helps when you're recording. Just go what's his name and snap your fingers. That helps a lot.
It's working.
Gracie Burns. Gracie Allen. Yeah.
Yeah.
George Burns' wife.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Absolutely.
Very funny. Jane.
Curtin.
Oh, Jane Curtin. Yeah. Fucking hilarious. Gilda Radner.
Yeah.
Lorraine Newman.
Yeah.
What's the woman though? She was around the same time as Marilyn Monroe. She had Huge tits, blonde hair.
Jane
Mansfield,
yeah.
Big trucks of land, but huge intelligence. She was like over 160, her IQ.
Okay.
And she was very funny. And there's so
Hedy
many
Lamarr,
who invented the little switch thing on the bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
ridiculous. Huge brain.
Code jumping.
Yeah, huge brain.
Yeah.
But I mean, the comedy, even Katharine Hepburn, funny. Very funny.
When you think about, I mean, there's a theory of like the genetic imperative of people to reproduce, and the getting a little hum here.
Yeah, is it the fridge?
I doubt it, because it's not on. Anyway, moving on.
Sorry, I just heard a hum. I'm like,
dudes needing to make women laugh to be attractive to procreate and all that is one thing, and then there's the general unfairness of up to this point. Now, women are at arguably the best point they've been in history, as far, or like at least in this country.
Well, yeah.
As far as the ability to do what you want and how you want and that sort of thing. But when you think about the number of women right now that live in poverty, that are single moms to however many, and no matter what they've got going on, the world is so stacked against them that it's super fucking tragic. So it's sort of like historically the role that women have played as far as child rearing and family and yada yada yada, that gave them the ability to have the free time or the personality to make the comedy, to put on the shows, to raise to the level of where most men are now. But there undoubtedly are some fantastically funny fucking women now.
How many of those women that we listed had children?
All of them, I think.
All of them?
I'm pretty sure they all did.
Really?
I think so. I mean, I'm making a blatant blanket statement without doing research.
I know Tina Fey does.
Tina Fey does. Lucille Ball did.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Okay.
So when you think about how much energy did that person have to have? Were they a man with or without children? But in the case of a man who has children, he generally has a wife that's there taking care of things, so he has the freedom to do this, blah, 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 blah. The energy it takes to have children. What kind of a superhero is Tina Fey to have accomplished all the shit that she's accomplished and have kids and be a fantastic mom and produce this kind of quantity?
Well, she also, I mean, let's be realistic. Yeah. I don't know because I haven't researched it, but I think she had her kids after she was famous.
Yeah.
So she's got the money to have a nanny.
Sure.
Not saying that she does. I don't know. But again, it's easier to do this once you're established.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
If you're trying to be a comedian, stand-up, and you've got 5 kids, and you're up till 1 o'clock in the morning, and then you have to get home and have 3 minutes of sleep and get the kids ready to go to school, that's bad. That's hard.
Some funny shit in there somewhere.
Well, yeah, Roseanne.
Okay. Well.
Roseanne.
Yeah.
She's a perfect example. I think she had, 3 kids? I think. 2 husbands, 3 kids? 4 husbands, 12 kids? 12 husbands, 8 kids? I don't know. And they're coming back on, by the way.
I had the privilege to hear a tape. Now, they used to make what they call a board tape. So somebody would be doing a comedy show. This is way early on. Roseanne was doing stand-up comedy before she was Roseanne. And my dad's best friend, Jeff, who I did work for, he's a concert promoter and sound man and has done...
Oh, you've mentioned him, yeah.
Yeah. He's lived a fantastic life. He made... A board tape would be, he's running the soundboard for one of these shows. He plugs in his recorder and makes a tape, sans knowledge of the performer.
Nice.
I got to hear early Roseanne Barr from one of these board tapes.
Oh.
And she was fantastically talented and funny early on.
Oh, yeah.
And her and Jeff Altman.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I heard, I got to see Rosie O'Donnell.
Yeah.
And David Spade in the same show in San Diego.
Nice.
Before either one of them were horribly famous. David Spade had just been picked up by SNL. Like, just been picked up. They were doing KGB FM, was a San Diego station. They give away tickets to breakfast with comedy breakfast at the Improv. And Kathleen won tickets. So I'm like, yes. We got there like 8 in the morning and drinking and eating breakfast. And all these comedians would come on.
Huevos Rancheros?
Huevos Champano. And 2 of them, one of which was Rosie O'Donnell, and the other one was David Spade. So I got to see them before they were hugely famous. That's the cool thing. That's the one thing I miss about living in California. Even in San Diego, you could see people. Like I saw Jewel play a concert in 91X's parking lot before anyone knew who the fuck she was. And I mean, you got to see these things. And here, I miss that. There's not that here. You don't have that here.
Not even in Portland?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I don't live there, so
Sure,
I don't know.
Going on, but
you don't see him as much. Rick Moranis walked right by me. They were filming My Blue Angel downtown. I was on my way to an audition, and I saw this very tiny man. I thought, oh, perspective's off. He can't be that. No, he's about 3 inches
really
tall.
far
Yeah,
away.
he's 3 inches tall.
Honey, I Shrunk Rick Moranis.
And we just walked by each other in the crosswalk. I'm like, that's fucking Rick Moranis.
Did you recognize any of these early performances as something? Did you
Yes.
see Jewel and go, oh fuck, this
I
is
went,
somebody who's going to be
because
something?
at that point she was dating the lead man to the Rugburns. The Rugburns were actually on their way up, and then they didn't really do much after Jewel got famous. Well, she's gone now. Nobody knows where Jewel is, but
or the Rugburns.
Or the Rugburns. But yeah, I kind of went, oh yeah. But I definitely saw David Spade and I went, and Roseanne Barr both, and went, okay.
Yeah.
Because he was he's a tiny man.
Yeah.
And he looked young for a very long time. And he came up and he goes, I'm this many. And he goes, my mom just dropped me off on the way to Bonds. I mean, it was just because he's so small and so young looking. It was very funny. But I do miss that connection of bypassing the famous or seeing people before they're famous. Like Mickey Rat played at my high school, which is also the band name Rat.
Oh.
Played at my high school for dances. I mean, it was like this weird kind of touching the famous whatever, not in a gross way, but I mean, just, seeing them, like Graham Chapman I told you about.
Yeah.
And all this stuff, it's like I miss that living here. I don't get that.
Or do you?
I don't.
Well,
I don't know anybody famous here.
Not yet.
Do you?
Anissa might blow up next week. We don't know.
That's true. I could literally blow up in an hour. Human spontaneous combustion. Heard of it?
Got that feeling? I think we all do. And let's call that the Tangent Lounge.
Okay.
I'm Gary.
And Dorrie, just Dorrie.